This one seems simple, but it can be very daunting when you're standing behind that camera to just point it at somebody and take a photo. However, as you come to learn and as you take more photos, you begin to see that people don't actually care as much as you think, and it is a very good way to tell a story and get a good, nice subject in your shot.
So, as you can see in this first photo that I have here, we have a Mercedes as our subject using the leading line to bring focus to it, but it is still a bit of a boring shot. So, see, we bring a person into it and it tells a bit more of a story as we don't know where she's going, and it makes the shot a little more interesting. Now, for another example, we've got this one over here. I took this one in a restaurant, no particular person in focus, all their faces facing away. But when we bring focus to one particular person and his emotions, it really does develop that photo, especially with the vignetting onto him. It brings emotions and it brings that story into the shot.
Alright, so guys, tip 2 is leading lines. Now, this is a really great way to change the way somebody looks at your photo because it creates an effect that draws the attention of the viewer to a certain section of the image while still being able to tell a story. So for example, if we walk over this way, we've got some really nice leading lines down this corridor along with the barrier on that side as well. So we can get some really nice shots. We come through here, and as you guys will see on the screen, there was just those little mum picking up her kid just down there, and the way that the corridor brings the viewer's eyes to that subject really allows me to get a distant shot while still having a nice composition. So we are just around the corner from the last spot, and I'm bringing you guys tip 3, which is composition. And our leading lines is a little bit on the composition part, so we're going to use that trick again to show you this next part. Now, I'm talking specifically about foreground, just motorbikes in the background. So when I say composition, in this tip, I'm specifically really talking about your foreground in your photo and how you can use it to bring that extra depth of field as well as fill some blank space in your photo. So as you can see, we still have this leading line in our photo, but it is a little boring. So if we come over here, not even a meter to the left, we've got this planter base, and we're gonna shoot the exact same shot, but we're gonna use the leaves as a nice foreground to get a slightly nicer shot. And you'll be able to see, I'll put some verses up, and you guys can see the difference that it does really make to the photo. Tip number 4. Now this one's a good one. Prime lenses. I personally shoot on 2 prime lenses, an 85mm and a 135mm. I do have a zoom lens for vlogging, but prime lenses are really good for street photography, especially as a beginner. They are slightly cheaper and you get better skills from them as you work with them. With a fixed millage, you got to move yourself around to get the shot. You get better depth of field with a low aperture. This one's an f1.8, same as my 135 in my bag, and it does get that better effect. You can do the same thing with a zoom lens, but you will find that you'll develop better skills and you'll be able to look for your shots better with a prime lens, having learned on a prime lens rather than having learned on a zoom lens. So, and to show you that benefit of the depth of field of the 1.8 I'm talking about, because that really is the big reason for shooting on a prime lens. So if we lower our aperture here all the way down to 1.8 and we take a photo of this mirror, oh actually that's not a good example, let's just take a photo of this bike because we've got lots of people behind it and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. In that you get a really nice photo. Oh, that's a better example actually. So you can see, I chucked this photo up on the screen, but the ability that the prime lens gives you is that focal point with everything having lots of bokeh and lots of depth in the background. It creates a clearer shot and does do some very nice things for your image. This doesn't mean that you should always shoot on the lower f-stop, but it is good. Alright, and for our last and final tip, have fun. It's photography, it's all about getting out there and having fun behind the camera. No shot is going to be perfect, it's not always going to be what you want, but the important thing is to just get out there, enjoy the photos you're taking, have fun while you're doing it, and have fun while you're editing. It's all a great experience, it's a great way to get out, have a walk, get some energy, get some sunlight, or maybe nightlight if that's your thing. But yeah, most importantly, have fun guys. Catch you guys in the next one.